Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Garrison, and I want to welcome you to day 7 of 11 days of global unity. That Humanity Rising and We the World Sign Network and 11 days have been producing together as an act of solidarity in this very profound period between September 11th this year on the 20th anniversary of 9/11 and September 21st, the United Nations designated International Day of Peace. The journey between 9/11 and the carnage of that day and world peace is the journey of a lifetime and the journey of our world and the challenge of the future. Every day we've been contemplating a different theme. Yesterday we took up the theme of children and youth, who comprise 50% of the entire human population. A country like India, 64% of 1.4 billion people are under the age of 25. The youth are ground zero for climate change and everything that we are now going to experience because of our refusal to deal with global warming. And today we want to contemplate women, the power of women in the world. Everyone from the Dalai Lama to Ted Turner to many others have said if there's one thing that the world could do that in an instant would transform human reality for the better, it would be to empower women in positions of leadership in a proactive way. I myself, in the depths of the pandemic last year, went through a thought experiment, and I thought, what would be one thing that if we did it would transform the world as powerfully for the good as the pandemic has challenged us in terms of public health. And the only thing I could think of, and the one thing I could think of, is if we turned executive leadership over to women immediately, every organization, every government in the world until at least 2030. What a world that would be. So you can imagine a global network of regeneration first responders of all generations, empowered by young people in partnership with women till 2030. We would solve virtually every problem we've got, or at least we'd make a very, very good start. So youth and women are key to empower in every conceivable way at this most fragile and crucial time in human history, where we are now moving in to the climate tipping point. And that's why the Secretary General has said we are now in code red. We are now in escalating ecological turbulence, in the face of which our governments are no longer capable of ensuring stability. As that turbulence escalates, and as our governments are increasingly unable to take care of basic human needs, there's a vacuum that is opening up for humanity. And that vacuum needs to be filled with a commitment to regenerate the world, to empower young people, and to empower women in every way that we can. If we do that, we will not only survive the turbulence that is coming, but that we will thrive because we will have been activating the very wellspring of regeneration. So in that spirit, let us pause, as we always do on Humanity Rising, and let us center ourselves in our bodies. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just for a minute, attune yourself to your heart. listen to your heartbeat in a spirit of love, gratitude, and thanksgiving. Gratitude that you're alive, and love for all sentient beings. Thank you, everyone. Now, and with an open heart and a heart full of gratitude and love for each and every one of you joining our session today, I want to welcome Rick Ulfik, who's the co-founder of 11 Days and the founder of We the World, who since 2004 has been orchestrating this bridge between 9/11 and International Peace Day with a sincerity of heart and a creative brilliance that has been dazzling. So Rick, thank you and welcome.
Wow, thank you, Jim. And thank you, Rick Buckley, behind the scenes there, helping with making all of these sessions go so smoothly. And thank you to Ubiquity University and Humanity Rising in general for broadcasting all of the 11 Days of Global Unity Summit panels, and for offering master's degree scholarships in peace and tolerance, as well as regenerative action for all of the 11 campaigns, our volunteers in these campaigns, and we're going to hear from one of them coming up very soon. And these scholarships are in honor of our dear friend Evan Madison from Pathways to Peace for 11 Days of Global Unity. I and we greatly appreciate your partnership and collaboration. So as Jim said, my name is Rick Ulfik, and I'm the founder of We the World and the We campaign at we.net. I'm the co-creator of 11 Days of Global Unity with my dear friend Troy Lush. We did that back in 2004. This is our 17th anniversary. So you can find out about all of the 11 days of Global Unity broadcasts and events by going to we.net. And we invite you to collaborate with us as a volunteer or an organization partner as well. Just go to we.net. So now let's go into the scholarship award part of today's presentation. Jim, could you give us an overview of these scholarships that you are awarding to We the World's change agents?
Yes, thank you, Rick. The scholarships are our contribution to 11 Days of Global Unity. We have been fashioning something that's unique and actually unprecedented in the world of academia. Normally you go to a school and you do your MBA program and you go to all their courses. But what we have done with our masters in regenerative action and our masters in tolerance and peace studies is create literally a Wikipedia of organizations all providing content together in regeneration. So it's a whole new notion of what an MBA is, and in tolerance and peace studies. So if you enter into the program, you'll be able to study with people from all over the world. The curriculum is being built afresh as more and more partners come in. So this is a state-of-the-art program by design, and it will allow the students to be in touch with different organizations and different content providers from all over the world. So it's a very exciting frontier in learning. And in both cases, there aren't tests or final dissertations, they're impact projects, because we want to connect knowledge with action in the world. So if you do the MRA or the MA in Tolerance and Peace Studies, it leads to some constructive action in the world, which under current world circumstances is the most important thing people of goodwill can be doing. So we really appreciate, Rick, the opportunity to provide these scholarships.
Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about our scholarship recipient for today. Angela Natalia Salcido Esquivel, and I'm probably saying that incorrectly. Angela will have to say it properly in a moment. She is from Bogota, Colombia, and has been living in New York City for 2 years and has volunteered in a foundation that offers inclusive programs for kids of all ages and abilities. And she has recently volunteered with We the World as well as a campaign ambassador. Welcome to the broadcast, Angela.
Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much for your generosity, Ubiquity University, for offers scholarships for the master's degree. I'm very glad and happy to be here.
Well, it's great to have you. And do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself? I mean, today's whole broadcast is kind of a tribute to the change agents who've been working on these issues. All of the campaigns of We the World, and today's focus is on women and allies of women. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about what in your life has brought you to be so interested in working on these things and so dedicated to this effort?
Well, I prepared something. I wrote something thinking about answering the question about how are you working towards peace in this world. So I will like to share with you what I wrote.
Sounds good.
And it comes like that.
Good.
In my opinion, in order to build peace with others, we should first be at peace with ourselves. We should work on the things we don't like or are hard for us to deal with. We should take care of our mental health. And by doing this, we will probably feel more willing and prepared to cope with the ups and downs we might encounter in our life. When we are aware of our feelings, emotions, and thoughts, and when we know how to address them, it's easier and healthier to establish relationships with others based on peaceful interactions. In this way, I'm working towards peace from 3 areas: the personal, interpersonal, and professional areas. I'm going to explain the personal area. For some weeks now, I have been implementing a specific activity in my morning routine. As soon as I wake up, I pray in gratitude for all that I have. I have taught myself to practice gratitude more often, and I also have learned to be more compassionate with myself. This has caused a positive impact in my mood, has made me feel better about the way I perceive my life, and has shown me how ungrateful it is to complain about little things that may happen sometimes. I have also practiced yoga and meditation, which are practices that also help with my mood. They bring me calm and give me a sense of community that is surrounded by peace and harmony. In fact, I have a very calm and peaceful personality. The interpersonal area. For me, empathy is one of the cornerstones for any relationship. If people were more empathetic, I'm sure the world will be a better and peaceful place. So I try every day to be empathetic with everyone and to not to judge the story of each person, because everyone is dealing with their own issues. I have always been the kind of person who can control their emotions and who's always trying to reach agreements if there is a discussion. So I usually run away from fights. I'm always willing to listen to my friends and family members when they need it, because I actually like to listen to others. I always treat every human being and animal with respect, and most of the time I receive a reciprocal reaction. And this is how we can build chains of peace. My main goal in my life is to serve others and to be useful to others. I try to do kind or generous actions that could help others. And since I'm living here, I've been interested in doing volunteer work, which is why I'm currently doing these two volunteers. In addition, I have participated in peaceful protests that have taken place here in New York City, which have been aimed at visualizing the critical state that my country is facing now regarding violence, injustices, corruption, and in general, due to the nonconformity Colombian people are feeling right now. We are demanding peace and respect for our human rights. Finally, in my professional area, I believe that careers like mine, that is psychology, including other social sciences, are vital in the construction of peace. When someone is balanced regarding their mental health, they are less likely to be violent and more eager to help others. I'm not currently working as a psychologist, but in the time I've been here, I have studied some online courses. One was called Psychosocial Care for Vulnerable Populations with a Narrative Approach, where we studied some topics related to peace. And the other one was Mindfulness in Parenting, Education, and Child in Adolescence Care, where I learned guidelines for positive parenting, recognizing emotions and brain processes in children and adolescents in order to raise children in a healthy environment, so in the future they can be peaceful adults. That's it. Thank you. That's my my answer to this question.
Okay.
Thank you,
Wow.
Angela.
Yes, go ahead, Jim. Did you want to ask her anything?
No, I just wanted to thank you so much for your enthusiasm and your sincerity. We look forward to having you as part of the program.
Thank you so much. I'm looking for the same.
And you know, we have a number of our staff are from Colombia. Our financial controller, our social media coordinator, several people are working with Ubiquity. And so I'll try to link you with some of our people down there. I don't know what it is about Colombia, but there's a lot of Colombian energy in Humanity Rising and Ubiquity universities.
Yes, I think it's because we want our country to be better. We need it.
Yeah, the work you are doing and talking about is so important. So we thank you for stepping up, being part of this, and for all of this work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, okay, well, today on our day for We the World's campaign for women, we're excited to bring you our tribute to the changemakers working on this campaign. And I'd like to start with Karen Palmer. Karen Palmer is coordinator for We the World's campaign for women and allies. Karen is a global kindness leader and a live stream social media expert who co-produces several popular online talk shows. She's a best-selling author and is coordinator, as I mentioned, of our campaign for women. And you can find her at globalkindnesstv.org. So my question for you, Karen, as I mentioned to Angela, what has motivated you to do this important work that you've been doing?
Well, first, I just want to acknowledge Angela and say, wow, what an incredible, beautiful woman you are. What an honor it is to sit beside you today and to be able to recognize your incredible magnificence. And Jim, I want to also thank you so much for this opportunity and the beautiful words that you shared, the beautiful those inspiring words that will, change our world. We have an opportunity as humans to see each other with equality and respect and dignity. And that's why I'm here. That's why I have become a voice for the voiceless. I am the founder of Global Kindness Going Viral and the Puppy Love Revolution. I believe that all living beings deserve to be treated with love and respect. And so I started working with We the World in 2015. And Rick is a beautiful example, an incredible friend who has seen me as his equal. And I had a very difficult time with my life. Coming from, I was homeless. I dealt with a lot of issues. I'm a survivor of domestic abuse. Originally, my parents were divorced at an early age. And so I became really, really passionate about breaking that cycle of violence and helping when I have a beautiful 25-year-old daughter now. And I believe that every child on the planet deserves the opportunity to be treated with kindness, compassion, respect, and dignity. And so being a part of We the World and now Ubiquity University and Humanities Rising, I just am so honored to, it's all about collaboration. It's really about, I believe that we are, when we did that beautiful heart-brain coherence experience, I believe that we are a web of love and that all of us have an incredible gift to share with the planet. I believe that the web helps us to see that every strand is just as important as every other strand. And I've been working in the schools for over 20 years now, teaching environmental education, animal advocacy, kindness, compassion, and peace education. And so I really believe that this is a huge opportunity when we do these 11 days of global unity, where we can truly, truly show the statistics of the power of treating each other equally and showing how much more powerful we are when we work together. We accomplish twice as much. When we see each other with magnificence and with beauty and with goodness, and we encourage each other and we shine so that everyone shines. I think that that's what the Women, Allies, and Families campaign is all about. And we have been bringing together our partners and we network every month, and I create musical coloring books. I created this in collaboration for We the World, the 11 Days of Global Unity. I'm also the co-founder of the 11 Gardens of Global Unity with Sue Blythe. And I believe that we have an incredible opportunity to work with children, to encourage them to see and navigate, understand their emotions and their feelings. And once they understand their emotions and their feelings, they know how to navigate those so that they can truly, truly be empowered. Just as Jim was saying, it's so important that we do this as a family. I believe that the we team is my family. I believe that all the people that I've been so blessed to work with, and I'm so excited to have the partners that we have to feature. Janet Grace is here with us today, and we had the most beautiful conversation together when I asked her to be featured here today, because she's doing such beautiful, important work, and we need to look at each other with the understanding and compassion and kindness, to always uplift each other, to always amplify the good that others are doing in the world. And that's what I used social media for, was global kindness going viral and the puppy love revolution, using social media to raise the levels of kindness, compassion, love, joy, and peace. That's what it's all about. I really believe that We the World is an incredible opportunity for any partner to join, any individual to be a volunteer, and for any little child. I would love to have a whole section where children, like I loved what we did with the youth and children this year. I love that we're expanding that and really inviting children to speak, because I feel like that's what we really need more than anything. We need more than anything is to encourage our children to share their wisdom, because they're coming in with so much brilliance, and it's time for us to listen to them.
Exactly. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why I think Jim Garrison and Humanity Rising are promoting this idea of the global regeneration, global regeneration core, which is focused quite a bit on the youth, because they will be inheriting this planet that could go in one direction or the other, and let's see if we can make it in a sustainable direction. So would you like to bring in our next guest, Karen? Janet?
I would be so honored. Janet Grace is the dearest, sweetest, most kind person, and she has created Grace's Place. And I want to really acknowledge the way that she encourages everyone through forgiveness and self-love and self-care. And I think that what she has done with her business, her own business, and the work that she's doing with her nonprofit is so incredibly inspiring for any person on the planet. So Janet, oh my gosh, my dear sister, I'm so incredibly honored and so grateful that you were available to be able to be here this morning. Divine timing, I truly believe it. And this is such a great time for us, Janet, for us to really, we've been all about collaboration since the moment we met. We knew that there was a divine encounter. There was something. Barbara Marx Hubbard has been a very, very big role in both of our lives. So I would love for you to share just a little bit about your own passion and why why you made the time to be here today, and what the beauty of this question is. What are we doing here?
And you are on mute. And by the way, Janet, you can also talk about sacred conversations, because
Yes, and we have that up today too.
That's such an important part of what we've been doing together. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you all so much. What an honor it is to be among such incredible love beings, as I love to call all of you. And you know, it's when Karen called me, my whole being said yes. And you know, part of my work in the world is really to help everyone to remember who they really are. And each one of us is love in the flesh. We were made in the image and the likeness of love itself. So as an interfaith minister and a lover of life and an ambassador of love, the truth is all of us are. And when we remember who we are, and we remember that everyone else that you're in the presence of is also love, then it's love speaking to love. And I believe that that is how we are going to not only heal the planetary wounds emotionally, physically on the surface, but even we, the world, it's all about inclusion. Even humanity rising, it's all about inclusion. There is no exclusion. Everyone is here. And Karen, I love all the work that you're doing with the children. The children are our future, and they have come in. Can you even imagine the database that's in those beautiful little minds and those beautiful, expansive hearts? Because they're going to create a world that we can't even imagine at this time, but they are imagining it. There's such brilliance there. And you know, I've been traveling the world for the last 20 years and creating sacred circles for women in Africa, in Nepal, in Italy, in Greece. And what my favorite aspect of the work that I'm doing is to see our similarities, not our differences. And Angela, I love everything that you shared. It was so profound and touched me so deeply in my heart, because you do represent the next generation of incredible souls that are here with such passion and purpose to bring more peace onto this planet, peace into our hearts. You know, I jokingly say that Jesus has been my boyfriend since I've been this big. And, you know, he was the Prince of Peace, right? But more importantly, he saw everyone as the presence of God, as the presence of love. So if we follow that as an example, we have every ingredient to create a world that works for everyone. I know this is possible. I've seen it. And like Karen and I were, whenever we talk, we bring Barbara, our beautiful angelic being. You know, I was blessed to know her and to love her in the flesh for the last 10 years of her existence. And I was a part of her ambassador academy that was all about humanity rising, just as Jim's beautiful vision of what it is that we together can co-create for humanity to rise up above the constructs of separation, that there is only one. And when I was ordained through agape, which means unconditional love, and it's the international organization, spiritual center run by Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith. When I was ordained, I was charged with the quality of oneness. And that was 11 years ago. And in my morning practices, and I love Angela sharing her morning practices, in my morning practices, I continue to ask Spirit, ask God, ask the presence of all that is, how can I understand and embody oneness in every cell of my being so that I can show up in the world as the presence of inclusion and love and peace and kindness and joy. And I love the puppy love revolution. It's, you know, who doesn't love that, right? So when we can continue to hold everyone up that is really here experiencing a present calling. It's our soul's calling that has become very front and center. And as I am also blessed to share this journey with Aurora Pagonis, my Australian sister. She's been doing the work, the same work that I've been doing. She's on the Southern Hemisphere and I'm on the Northern Hemisphere. And we say we've been doing this global work together, and now we're coming together through our work with sacred conversations and ways that we can really open up our hearts and invite amazing conscious women to engage in deep and profound conversations and really listening to the wisdom and the intelligence of our hearts. That, you know, Jim took us through a beautiful heart opening meditation. And when we can really listen from the wisdom of our hearts that tells our mind what to think, instead of our logic reasoning mind telling our hearts how to feel. It's the shift that I feel is really going to make such a profound difference in how each one of us shows up in every conversation with ourselves or with others, how it is that we're showing up in our work in the world. I love that Angela brought in her personal pathway to peace and her professional, because it really isn't separate. And yet when we can feel the unification, there is such a power that happens within ourselves that then radiates out to others, that there really isn't a difference between who we are personally and how we show up professionally. And so Aurora and I are doing for Women's Power Day, we are doing a sacred conversation today through We the World, through the 11 days of global unity. And it's at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. And it's 9:30 tomorrow, since Aurora's in Tomorrowland. So wherever you're tuning in to the, you know, from the world, maybe they'll put a link into our chat box and you're able to join us today for these deep and profound sacred conversations that we're also honored to be now doing on a monthly basis through We the World, and really engage in conversations that really do stimulate energetic frequencies that really do make a difference in the world. And I just want to leave with this invitation. As you are recognizing yourself as the presence of love, how is it that you can see in the eyes of others the face of love looking back at you? And as we co-create and collaborate and communicate love to love, we are making this world a better place each and every moment. So from my heart to yours, thank you so much.
Thank you, Janet. That's so beautiful. And you mentioned a couple of people as you were talking. I wanted you and others to know that they've also been part of We the World for years. Michael Beckwith has been a dear friend and has participated in 11 Days of Global Unity. We had him on some of the summit panels that we've had, you know, along with humanity's team folks. And also, Barbara Marx Hubbard was one of the honorary co-chairs that helped to launch 11 Days of Global Unity back in 2004, along with Jane Goodall and Marianne Williamson and what's his name? Desmond Tutu made a video for us. Robert Thurman was on that, and so many others. But Barbara Marx Hubbard has been a very special person for us, and has also been part of our 11 Days of Global Unity Summit panels, usually talking on the subject of unity.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that.
Mhm.
So, well, we haven't heard from Angela in a bit since you did our kind of opening. Do you have any more comments or anything else you would like to share with us, Angela? You are on mute. Oh, there you go. And if you want to turn your video on, that would be great too.
I can't, I don't, it says that the host has disabled it.
Oh, so maybe the host can help
Okay.
bring you back. Okay, very good.
No, I'm just listening to you, and it's very emotional to listen to you and to all people who have been talking here. So I'm just listening to you, and I'm very emotional right now because you have told me beautiful things. So I'm just here.
Okay. Well, you know what some people say, life, 95% of life is showing up, right? And for me, that is a core part of leadership. You know, I feel it's so important. Just this idea of showing up is what it is, the core piece of being a leader in our society. So thank you for that. Did you want to say something, Karen?
I just wanted to say we believe in you, Angela, and please reach out to me and send me an email if I can be of any service to you. I'm so honored to have you joining as part of We the World and being part of the We family. And please don't hesitate to reach out to me if I can be of service in any way to you to help expand your work that you're going to be doing in the world. And thank you for stepping up and being the beautiful, beautiful soul that you are.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So Karen, do you want to give a little sneak preview of the session that we're going to be doing a little bit later? Is not much longer. It's just a few minutes from now, actually.
We do have a beautiful, beautiful show that is going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And we have an incredible roundtable. We're going to have a beautiful presentation with Antoinette, Ruth's daughter, and she is going to be sharing with us about so many ways that we can have a world that works for all of us. That will be a presentation that she will share with her partner, Luigi, will be sharing information about how we can really see this world and understand that we truly are having the equality and seeing each other as a way that we can really acknowledge the wisdom and the genius, joining genius. I used to love that when Barbara Marx Hubbard would say joining genius. And that's something that I think that we all have a beautiful message to share. We have Sandy Hart will be there, Jumana from Peace Lights will be there, and Rick and I will be there to speak about. We're going to all have just a nice, and we have an opportunity for the audience to ask questions so that everyone can know that they're being seen and heard. And every person that, is part of the 11 days of global unity is really knowing that they make a difference. And I think that every person, even while you're watching these broadcasts, you are part of the solution. And when you share it out, you're actually helping to expand and amplify, because what we focus on expands. And so every time that we focus on oneness and love and peace and kindness, we are sending that out into the world, saying that that's important to us. And the more that we do that, the more that we start to see the evidence of it. I think we've seen enough evidence of separation and division, and it's time for us to see the evidence of the oneness and the power of love.
Exactly. So this panel is today's summit panel for We the World's campaign for women and allies. Yeah, exactly.
We have our allies. The reason that I wanted, when I came back into working with We the World and asked Rick if I could be the organizer for the women's campaign, I said, is it possible that we can add allies and families to that? And Rick said, absolutely. I love that idea. I've always wanted to do something like that. And so we were on the same page, and that's what it's all about, is inclusion and bringing everyone into the soup. The soup makes a good soup when there's lots of spice and there's lots of different beautiful spices to share, because everyone has something so important to share in this beautiful wee soup.
Hopefully it tastes as good as pea soup, and I think it does. Wee soup.
Wee consciousness soup.
That sounds great. So
somebody just wrote, I love the inclusion of women, allies, and families. Great soup. Thank you.
Great soup. Yes, exactly. Because, for me, I think Jim and a lot of men feel that, men have kind of dominated with patriarchy for so many thousands of years. Let's support women to have equal roles in leadership and in all kinds of parts of society. And then I think when we make that turn and make that shift with total equality, that we will then be able to have a world that works for all, right, Karen?
I do believe that. And I think that it'll be interesting to see when we do have the support and the allies, and what's possible, what else is possible when we all support each other, when we all see each other equally, and when we all respect each other and see the dignity that not just men and women, but every living being deserves. Every living being deserves that dignity. And I think that we're coming to a place where we're realizing that we truly are all connected, and that we can't continue in the path of the way that we have been going. And equality does seem like the answer. Right.
So some people think of we as standing for world equality. So that's another way to think about we. Did you want to say anything more, Janet? And then we'll begin to move towards the closing.
Wonderful sacred conversations with Aurora today. And if you want to share a little bit more about that, we'll make sure that we get that link so that I'll post that in our, on Facebook.
Beautiful. Yeah. I love everything, but you guys, I love world equality. I mean, it's everything, right? It's everything. And, my acronym for love is to lift our vibration eternally. When we lift everyone up to really vibrate at love and above, we're here just absolutely creating a world that works for everyone, because we know that everything is created twice. It's first in our minds and in our hearts, and then it becomes our reality. So the more that we come together in these ways and have these beautiful sacred conversations, even like this one right now, it's really the vibration that's going out into the planet is everything about inclusion and expansion, because love is the energy of expansion. So our sacred conversations are really precious. We bring about today's topic is called Igniting Your Heart Intelligence. So we're going to be really going deeper into your own heart's intelligence, and really engaging in deepening the relationship that you have with the knower that knows, that's right where you are, that really has a calling, that really has a voice, that really has something that really is looking to be shared and to be expressed. So join us today. I promise you, you will really thoroughly enjoy all of the women that are coming to play in this particular playground today. We just are so honored. And thank you, Karen and Rick and Jim, for this beautiful opportunity to serve at this level. We're really, really grateful. And I'm going to speak from my sister Aurora's heart also, and just say that we are truly grateful.
That's so wonderful. And we are truly grateful for everything that you and Aurora and Karen and Angela and everyone on this, we're so grateful for what you're doing. So as I said before, if anyone wants to get more information about what's going on with 11 Days of Global Unity, you can go to we.net. There are links there to get to the full schedule, to register, to become a partner. Everything goes through that kind of portal, we.net there. And it's not just about 11 Days of Global Unity, which culminates on September 21st, the International Day of Peace. It's about being part of these 11 campaigns all year long. So we really look forward to working with you and being partners going forward. And today, I think we accomplished those 3 I's that we always talk about: inspire, inform, and involve. 3 I's that make a we. So we can go from a me society to a we society, right? So thank you. And Jim, do you want to close us out for today? Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Janet and Angela and Karen. This has been a splendid conversation. I'm delighted that you brought in Barbara Marx Hubbard. She was an inspiration to me. I had the privilege of knowing her, oh boy, for about 30 years, going back to the 1980s, 1990s, when she ran for vice president on the Democratic ticket back, I think it was in 1976, and came up with the Peace Room and the whole homo noeticus notion. She was quite an extraordinary force of nature, I would say, that inspired people literally all over the world till the day she passed. So thank you for bringing her in. She's an example of the kind of woman in leadership that all of us need to emulate, both in terms of substance and in terms of style. I can't think of someone who is more relentlessly optimistic than Barbara Marx Hubbard. I felt kind of very roughly hewn whenever I was in Barbara's company, because she was just so out there, totally convinced that that we were going to make it, and I think we will, to the degree that we embody the spirit that so powerfully animated her. So thank you for bringing her in today. And thank you everyone for joining us. We will now adjourn until tomorrow. Those of you who are interested, please join the after chat session that we have each day. Stan Pokris has just put the link in the chat box, and that allows us to continue the conversation. And we'll see you again tomorrow, Saturday, same time, same station, for this joint program between Humanity Rising and 11 Days of Global Unity. Bye for now.